Okay, everybody, my name is Alex. I'm going to take you through a quick look at how the VidSwap Replay app works on your iPad. So we've got the app up here. Make sure that you're logged in to your account. Now, being connected to the replay system, highly recommend you get plugged in with an adapter cable. And then when you go into your settings, turn the Wi-Fi off. That's on the main iPad that's plugged in, that's doing the recording and acting as the server. If you're using the iPad as a coach, just pulling up video, watching that during the game, then you'll connect via Wi-Fi to the replay network that is made available on your kit. Now again, from a replay perspective, this iPad, right, is running the system. We've got the app up. We're logged into it before we go out to the field. If I want to create a new game, I'm going to click New Live Game. I've got some details. I can click into the game name and I can give this a name. So we'll just say that this is Fairmont versus Minnetonka. Click done. Now I've got a name, I've got a date, and the bottom now I'm going to click configure. Now this is where I'm going to add my camera angles. You'll notice that there's an angle that showed up automatically. It says VSCam IP. If you have a kit that is using one of our IP cameras, like one of the OCR cameras or our PTZ cameras, one of those that's already pre-configured, it's going to pop up automatically. I've got the lenses covered, so you're not going to see anything right now. We're not on a field, so the screens look blank right now. So if I wanted to assign this camera, I'm going to tap on the top left corner and assign it as one of the angles. Now, if you're using one of our encoder kits that's got an HDMI encoder in it, where maybe you've got a camcorder plugged into it, then on the top right corner, I'm going to click Manual. And you'll see a list of cameras, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. Every one of these cameras is hard-coded to your kit. So if you have a camcorder plugged into your main sideline, your kit number 1, that's camera number 1. If you've got a 2-camera kit, like a 3x2 kit from us, and you've got an end zone camera plugged in on kit number or case number 2, that's camera number 2. Right now I've only got one camera plugged in, so I'm going to choose one camera. You'll notice it pops up. I've got the lens covered so it looks black, but now I've got my IP camera and I've got a manual camera. Now, if you had, again, the 2 different angles on manual, you would choose 2 cameras, and it's going to show you an IP address for your side camera and an IP address for your end zone camera. You'll notice that this end zone one, it says connecting, and it's trying to find it. It's not finding it. And it's going to spin like that for a little while, and eventually it's going to give up and not connect to anything. But let's go back. We'll just do the one camera. So we've got our camcorder and our IP camera plugged in. What I could also do is I could use the iPad's camera as a device. I could also use the VidSwap camera app on an iPhone or an additional iPad to use as another angle. But let's assign this as the end zone angle. So now I've got 2 angles assigned here. and then I'm going to click into the bottom here, click into record. Now it shows my record window, and it gives it a moment to sync the two angles. So now you'll notice on the bottom here, we've got a sideline and we've got an end zone feed that you can toggle between. Now, if you ever run into any issues where maybe a feed drops out or for whatever reason anything, you can always go from config and toggle back into the record window. That's kind of one of those little refresh tricks that we teach people. So for any reason you're having issues, just go from configure, let it load back up, and then we can go back to record. Sometimes you can even close the app out and then reopen it back up. Now on the right side, if you want to add tags, things that you might want to do during the game, we'll use football as an example here. Maybe we want to tag ODK, pass, run, things like that. I'm going to click add tag, and we're going to type O. We're going to click it again and do D. Click it again and do K. And then maybe we want to do pass, and then we'll do run. So now you have a few really simple tags that you can tag during the game that give you filters to use on the sideline or in the press box. Now, once you're ready, you can start by pressing the start button. It's going to say record on top, so you know that this is recording. And if you're doing a sport like football or baseball, where you have a stop and start, right? When you have it recording on the right-hand side, you can start tagging what things are going on. So it was an offensive play, maybe it's a pass play, and then let's say the play ends. I can then press stop. And then I'm going to repeat that process. Start, offensive play, and then maybe it's a run play. And then press stop. So during a football game, you will repeat this process, and many times it's your filmer. Your filmer might be up on the tripod, moving the camera around. You've got the iPad right here. Maybe it's mounted on the tripod, or maybe you have somebody sitting next to it, but that person can be doing the starting and stopping, tagging ODK, pass, runs, and stopping. Very simple, very easy. If you need to edit these tags, when they're on, you can actually click and hold your finger down, and you can delete a tag if you need to. Now, if you're doing a flow-based sport like soccer or hockey or basketball where you're not stopping and starting, then you're just going to press start and you're going to let it run. And then any tags you have, you can then tag those, click them as they're happening. Maybe a shot happened, shot on goal, a set piece, right? Inbounds play, things like that. Now, on this main recording iPad, you'll notice that on the bottom right corner, there's a review tab. If you want to pull up a replay and it's still recording, you can do that. I can click into review, and then I can watch these plays, right? On the top right corner, I can click on the camera, and it shows me all the plays that we've recorded. So I can click into any one of these. We can watch those. And the green button is a filter. This allows me to filter based on the tags that we made. So if we want to pull up an offensive pass play filter, you'll notice now that it filters these two plays that were offensive pass plays that we can watch. And you'll see on the top there, it tells me that this is the sideline angle and that this is an offensive pass play that we can watch. I can pause it. I can draw and screw with my finger. What you can't see is I can double tap. I can pinch to zoom on the screen here and then double tap and get out of my zoom. I've got all my player controls, play, pause, I can slow motion, I can skip forward and backwards, and then I can toggle between the different angles here on the play bar. I can move the play bar to the bottom if I choose also. I can go back up, I can clear the filter. So now I've got a list of all the plays, and it tells me also which one is live. So we're currently recording a play here, and this is the live clip, which I could click to if I want to. Now, this blue button is your tagger. So if anybody is looking at any plays, right, after the fact, you could still click in, use the blue button here while you're watching, and you could tag something that maybe was a mistake or that you needed to add. And then I can click back into record. It takes me to my record window. I can then stop recording and keep going. I can still click into review and we can watch these plays as well. Now, once a game is done, I'm going to go to details. I'm going to end the game. It's going to ask me, are you sure that you want to end this game? You can resume it later if you accidentally end it. But I'm going to end it. And now the game is done. It's sitting ready and waiting for you to upload it. So once you get back into your office, back at home, back at the hotel room, back where you might have access to internet, if this isn't a cellular iPad, you can then click upload. And it's going to upload all of these clips into your account, where then you can decide what you want to do with that replay session, where you want to put it, how you want to use it inside of your VidSwap account. When you go back to your main screen, you can see account information. This tells you what account, username you're in, right? What you're connected to, whether your Wi-Fi or your hardline. And the storage, that tells you how much storage space is left on your device. That doesn't have anything to do with your VidSwap account, but it's how much is on the iPad. And that's really relevant as you start getting into the season and you're recording more and more video, more angles, right? The bigger the iPad you have, the more video you're going to be able to record and then not have to worry about removing or deleting anything. Always make sure you've got the latest version of the app as well in the App Store. But now if I go back and I click on games, this lets me see a list of all these games. So then I could click into this and I can delete the game. I can delete these games as I need to. I could go back into Fairmont, Minnetonka. I could resume this if I want to and keep going. All right. And there you have it. One last thing. I'll mention this. So you see a cameras app here, a little camera button. From your main iPad, this allows you to be able to click into any of the cameras that are connected to the replay system. So if you were walking around, you were setting up cameras that were maybe stationary, which happens around baseball fields, softball fields, volleyball courts, the stationary ones, this allows you then to click in and then you can position the camera, lock it into place. You can zoom in and out. So whenever you're on our IP cameras, gesturing up and down on the screen allows you to zoom in and out. If you're using one of our PTZ end zone cameras or just the PTZ camera in general, then the right-hand side of the screen becomes your zooming up and down. And the left-hand side, when you gesture left, right, it moves the camera, pans it, and then gesturing up and down, again, moves the camera up and down. So it moves that PTZ camera around, and you can control it with gestures on the screen there. So all in all, that is a really quick look at your VidSwap Replay app, which works on iPad only. If you have any questions, please reach out. support@vidswap.com.